What's up everyone, today we are going to be taking an in-depth look at the sub-weapon Toxic Mist. Everything we are going to learn will be included in a chart later in the video, so please make sure you stay until the very end. This video is the biggest one I have made in a while, with a lot of information being shown fairly quickly, so please bear with me and I hope you enjoy. Anyway, Toxic Mist is a very unique sub-weapon in Splatoon 2 and can end up being very effective when used correctly. It is important to note that Toxic Mist's main purpose is more focused around forcing your opponent to move. For example, you take advantage of Toxic Mist by using it to force people out of corners, slow people down who are trying to flee, or even reveal their location. Moving on from what I think makes this ability useful, let's get more into the technical side of things. Toxic Mist does not damage you in any way, but I was wondering if it affects your rate of healing. And after finding out if you can heal at all, I ran a healing test in and out of Toxic Mist. And as you can see, the Toxic Mist does not slow down the healing process. Now it's time to talk about stacking. We are going to first stack the mist and see if it affects the movement speed. On the left there will only be one Toxic Mist thrown, while there will be multiple stacked on the right. It turns out these tests lined up frame perfectly and the slowed speed effect does not stack. Now we're going to take a look at ink depletion. Here we are going to discover a very important number that we will see many times in this video, and that is how fast your ink gets depleted. Every time Toxic Mist is thrown onto you, your ink gradually depletes at an exponential rate, meaning you lose ink faster and faster until it's all gone. And to no surprise, the Toxic Mist effects do not stack under any circumstance. However, we also just figured out that Toxic Mist depletes a full tank of ink in 8 seconds and roughly 21 frames. We will come back to this number later. Now, some of you may be thinking of something that had the possibility of skewing many of these results, and that would be, do different weapons deplete ink faster than others? To test this, I used 4 different weapons including the Splattershot Jr. with the large ink tank to determine results, and the answer is no. All weapons deplete ink at the same rate, so Toxic Mist affects each weapon the same. I'd also quickly like to note that ink is depleted at the same rate whether you are standing or even in squid form but out of ink. On the left I am standing out of ink and on the right I will be in squid form, just not in any ink. Both of these line up at the same time, however standing out of ink is just a bit longer, but probably due to a different animation and no real difference in ink depletion. A fun fact I'd like to throw in about Toxic Mist is that it actually makes you jump a lot lower than normal, so it really does decrease your mobility overall. Something else important to know is how long Toxic Mist stays active. From the time Toxic Mist hits the ground, it lasts 5 seconds and 8 frames in all circumstances. Alright, for the next bit of the video, we are going to be focusing on the ability effects in regards to Toxic Mist. So first, let's get sub power up out of the way. Already knowing the answer, I still tested the ink depletion rate, mobility, radius, throw distance, and even duration. I'm only including a bit of footage for this ability since I don't want to spend much time on it, so I can confirm that the only thing sub power up does to Toxic Mist is increase the throwing range as shown here. Someone asked me if Toxic Mist reveals enemies on the map, and as you can see here that is not the case. However, this made me think of how the mist itself reveals the enemy's location with a little cloud of mist. So I went ahead and tested 2 things that came to mind, Cold-Blooded and Ninja Squid. With Cold-Blooded equipped, the mist cloud appears full force. However, I was thinking Ninja Squid may actually do something, but it's actually the same thing as Cold-Blooded. Neither of these abilities help you stay hidden in Toxic Mist. 2 more abilities I wanted to include are Ink Saver Main and Ink Recovery Up. I know many people were curious about this one, but sadly neither of these abilities do anything. The ink depletion time is still 8 seconds and 21 frames. Now we're going to test to see if run speed and swim speed still work in Toxic Mist. On the left side of the screen I have neither run speed nor swim speed, and on the right I have max of both. As you can see, these abilities work just fine in Toxic Mist. I also ran the same sort of speed test with ink resistance. While it doesn't affect the ink depletion rate, I thought it maybe would help you move faster, but as you can see this is not the case. Moving on from the abilities, I wanted to see if Toxic Mist affects super jump speed. Here I am showing normal jump speed on the left, Toxic Mist at the start of the jump on the right, and Toxic Mist at the end of the jump on top. But in the end, you still jump at the same exact speed no matter what. After running all these tests, I found that nothing changes the rate of ink depletion in any way. I even tested random things like seeing if multiple people in the same Toxic Mist would affect anything, but the numbers were all the same. Something else I thought you guys would like to see is how much max sub saver helps with throwing Toxic Mist, and it appears that you can easily throw 2 Toxic Mists with some ink to spare. Before we wrap this up, I wanted to quickly go over the specials. First I wanted to see if ink armor suffers the effects from Toxic Mist, and as you can see here it clearly does. However, after that I went ahead and tested the baller, which is actually not affected by Toxic Mist. However, you will suffer from minor knockback if mist is thrown directly at you while using the baller. Lastly, I wanted to see if the inkjet is affected by toxic mist at normal height, and the answer is yes. The most important thing about this is that you still lose ink while using the inkjet. If you are stuck in toxic mist, you will not be landing with a full tank. And that is all the info I have on toxic mist. I apologize for always going fast, but I really try my hardest to keep these videos as short as possible. Here's the chart of all the information we just learned. Also, thanks so much to everyone who stuck around for 9,000 subscribers. The current goal is 10,000 subscribers before the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So if you enjoy the content, I'd really appreciate if you dropped a sub and liked the video. And as usual, my Twitch and Discord links are in the description, so feel free to join the 600 plus member server to help grow our family, and to follow me on Twitch where you can catch me live and maybe play some Splatoon. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace.